that.
Yep, Timothy, Timothy, Sanzi, Sanzi, middle initial G. Hello, Major.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
You all set?
Yes.
Okay, good afternoon. As you know, members of the Rhode State Police Intelligence Unit received information about a felony assault with a firearm that allegedly occurred at approximately 40 a.m. Wednesday, June 12th, outside of the Hells Angels Motorcycle Club, located at 161, 163 Messer Street in Providence. The victim told detectives that someone had fired a single gunshot at his vehicle as he drove past the motorcycle club's headquarters at that location. The bullet struck the passenger side of the vehicle. No one was injured. It should be noted that there were children in the area at that time, and there is a school across the street from the location of the shooting. The school is the Asa Messer Elementary School, 158 Messer Street. As a result of their investigation, members of the Rhode Island State Police Intelligence Unit, along with members of the State Police Violent Fugitive Task Force, responded to the Hells Angels Motorcycle Club on Messer Street at approximately 1:40 p.m. on Wednesday. The suspect, identified as Joseph M. Lancia, age 28, of 40 Fanning Lane, Smithfield, Rhode Island, was arrested at that time without incident at that location. He is charged with felony assault with a deadly weapon, firearm, discharging a firearm when committing a crime of violence, license or permit required for carrying a pistol, and firing in a compact area. Mr. Lancia has been identified as a president of the Rhode Island chapter of the Hells Angels Motorcycle Club. Members of the intelligence unit subsequently obtained a search warrant for that location. The detectives, along with members of the Rhode Island State Police Tactical Unit, K-9 Unit, and Computer Crimes Unit executed the search warrant at approximately 5:30 p.m. Wednesday. As a result of executing this warrant, the Rhode Island State Police seized three firearms and assorted ammunition from the clubhouse. Two people who were at the club during the execution of the warrant were also arrested and subsequently charged with obstructing a police officer and resisting arrest. Those two individuals are identified as Howard J. Pollitt, age 45, of 702 King Philip Street, Fall River, Massachusetts, and Amber E. Gill, age 25, of 8 Andam Street, Providence, Rhode Island. All three of these individuals, Mr. Lancia, Mr. Pollitt, and Ms. Gill, were arraigned this afternoon in 6th District Court. I believe Mr. Lancia received $100,000 surety bail, and the other two parties received personal recognizance. This is an ongoing and active investigation. So I take any additional questions that you may have right now.
This may seem like a basic question, but there was a lot of force used yesterday for this arrest. What do you attribute that to? The charges, the history of the individual? What would you attribute that to? The use of force?
Well, it's based on our investigation and our history, our intelligence, and as fluid as yesterday was, we have parameters with which how we operate and how we execute search warrants in particular, whether we use force on entry or whether it's we have different types of applications. And we felt, due to the nature of the offense and the potential for additional violence or weapons, that that was our response for tactical entry.
Is this building known to be heavily fortified? I think in the past you've used like a front end loader to enter the building. So is this known to be, other than, you know, the crime that occurred earlier in the day, is this a building that's of concern in its own sense?
It has a history of not being reinforced. I believe in 2002, that was the year you're referring to. We did execute a search warrant there. We did use a backhoe. We did use a tactical team as well.
Are the other two parties affiliated in the Hells Angels?
That we know of, as far as members, not that we know of.
Are any of the do any of the individuals who were arrested know the victim of the shooting?
I would imagine they do, maybe one or two. I can't answer that for the entire group.
How do you think Lancia might know this victim?
Just through association. I mean, I think you would have to know somebody to actually retaliate someone when someone does like that.
So this victim isn't known to be in another motorcycle club or another chapter of Hell's Angels?
Well, I really don't want to comment on the identity of the victim at all.
Is the victim known to you guys in some way?
Well, yes, the victim is a complainant and a victim to us, but
Other than that, I mean,
other than
this incident, is the victim known to you in any way?
yes,
Can you explain it all in what way?
I'd rather not.
How long has Lancia been the president of Hell's Angels, and what does that mean to be
To
president?
be the president of the chapter, of course, they have, based on our intelligence, they have a structure that they have to follow in order to process through. They mostly start as probationary members and work their way up. That can take different variety of time and, things that happen.
Can I just ask you to speak up a little bit?
I'm sorry, we believe that he has been the president for approximately 2 years, to answer your question.
And recently we covered a raid in North Providence where someone by the last name Lancia, not this man, owned or is believed to have owned that complex. So are there multiple Lancias that you know of that are part of the Hell's Angels motorcycle
Not that I
club?
know of, no.
How big is the Hells Angels in Rhode Island? I'm not from here, so how big are they locally that you guys had to use that amount of force? Because you guys knew from the past. How big are they here?
The size has varied over the years. I don't have an approximate exact number for you now.
Were they under investigation previously before the raid yesterday?
No, but we monitor groups that are associated with motorcycle gangs as, as part of our duties and responsibilities and our mission in gathering intelligence and information.
I believe in court at the arraignment this afternoon, they said that there was video evidence of Lancia pulling the gun and firing the round at the car. So I'm assuming there's a camera in the area. Do you have, the state police have like a camera on the building monitoring that area? Or would it be another one in the neighborhood or both?
We've collected evidence from a lot of different locations, and that's part of the investigation that's ongoing.
Why was the fugitive task force brought in on this occasion?
We needed to apply resources as quickly as possible. There just happened to be a group in the area at the time.
Was there concern that Lancia or the others were escaped or something? Was there?
Well, there's always concern for preservation of evidence and trying to get as much as you can in every scene, so.
And just to reiterate what you said earlier, that these other two people were not members of the Hells Angels, they just happened to be inside the club at the time?
Correct, not that we know of.
Okay. So they were arrested basically by association because they tried to not get arrested, they gave you a tough time?
Correct, well, they were inside the residence and, they were, as we would normally do, we would announce, as we did, and request that they respond out of the residence. And they did not at first. They eventually did after we executed the warrant by breaching the door.
I don't know if you mentioned this, but did you guys find any kind of weapons inside? Any?
We did. We seized 3 handguns and ammunition from the clubhouse.
Have you determined whether any of those weapons are associated with this particular?
That's still part of the investigation. So there will be further look at the ballistics.
Is it illegal to be a Hells Angels fully patched member, full patched member in Rhode Island?
It's not a crime, but it is recognized, nationally as a motorcycle group. It's an organized element.
But there's nothing wrong with that in and of itself, right?
Correct.
So if these people came out after you ordered them to come out of the building and you realized they didn't really have any association with the drive-by shooting, they would have just been let go?
Well, I don't want to get into that part of it, whether or not they were associated with that or not. But they were clearly inside the dwelling. We clearly announced ourselves. They clearly did not respond to our announcements. Upon breaching the door and announcing again, they did come out. So that is clearly to us, an issue as far as failure to comply.
So
Do you anticipate any further arrests in this particular case?
It's a very active and ongoing investigation. answer your question, there could be, very possibly.
Anything else? Awesome, thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, thank